Yeah, tonight we were anticipating before the show started that we were on quite different pathways when it came to because genuinely Dietz
Yeah.
gives us the challenge. The challenge is diseases. Go find out, and then it's fun to see where our brains go. And we
it's never
thought
the
we
same
were
place.
yeah, we thought we were quite different, and we kind of are in the diseases we've gone with.
You just
but
want to talk about syphilis again, don't you, Ryan? Is that what's going on? You're just like, can we go back to talking about syphilis again? I swear, if you bring up syphilis one
no,
more
I'm
time,
not gonna. Well,
okay, I'm not
just
gonna.
one more
I'm not
time.
gonna bring it. Okay, all right. Tell me your syphilis fact.
But a lot of the aspects of the diseases is something we are kind of finding some kind of strange unity on.
Okay.
And I want to talk about scurvy. Yes,
All right.
wonderful.
Well, yeah, why not? Let's see what's
scurvy. You just lack of vitamin C. It's an easy disease to talk about because it's not enough vitamin C. And then what starts to happen is, I don't know, your gums go fucked. I don't know, that's all.
bad teeth.
Bad things start happening. That's one of the definite symptoms, but you just start.
Yeah, the irony about that is that you get bad teeth from getting scurvy. And then the one nation who started carrying limes on their ships to stop getting scurvy and who were called limeys.
Limeys, shame.
They're the ones with the worst teeth? That's not fair. That doesn't seem fair, does it, Ryan? That doesn't
I wonder
seem
how. Because it was. Because then, my mom, she's going to make another appearance on the. But
Your poor mom.
This might
we
be
should give her a
bad.
subtitle. We should give her a credit, a producer credit.
This might be bad for my mom, but it's too late now because I've started the sentence. But if like when we were small in Vereniging, if there was a British person that irritated my mom, then she'd say, "Man, he's just a limey." So, but like, okay. So, but
was that British people specifically? Were there a lot of British people, or was it like
no?
English
V-Town
people?
had the Valtrying had a lot of British people because of our Iscor. That was the
so
big
people
thing.
from England.
Yeah, because they came with the steel. When the steel Thatcher's steel problems.
No. You were right the first time. They came with the steel. They arrived in South Africa, and all they did was steal and steal and steal, and they took it all back to England with them.
People from
they
Leeds,
came
from
with
Sheffield.
the steel in the early days.
And they came with their football, and they started clubs,
okay.
and their soccer was very good. Soccer was very strong in the Val. Okay, but we're talking diseases.
Yeah.
So no, but she said. So I mean, would a British person be offended by the term limey? Surely not. It's a good thing.
I mean, you would hope, but it was a derogatory term for a British person. Look, derogatory terms were very gentle in the early days. Like
yes,
like he's a wasp. He's a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant.
They're shooting each other from trenches and killing millions over a field, but the insults are very respectable.
They were. It was even when you think about some of the classics, WAP. For the Spanish, it was kind of west of the Pyrenees is what it stood for. Zing! What a burn! You'll never recover from that one.
What I like is obviously the English was referred to frog's legs, frog, because they ate frog's legs, which is very nice. I've had them Chinese style, though, not French style, but it doesn't matter. But and you know what the French insult for the English was? I got this in the book.
Is it
Papillon?
Uh-huh.
Papillon was, and they made it into a movie, twice. But the French insult for the English was "you stupid roast beef." You stupid roast beef. So it's like, if you give a piece of beef to a Frenchman, we can make a nice fillet, blah blah blah. But them, just stick it in the oven, stupid roast beef, It's just fucking funny. It's like all the terrible things you could possibly say about his parents or his parents' genitals. You stupid roast beef.
To be fair, we've gotten a lot harsher since then. I mean, we
our
really
wars
have.
have stopped.
But so maybe that's all it took. Maybe that's all it took. The harsher the insult, the less
call
likely.
Oak's mother's special place a nasty thing, or say this whole soccer team has gone there to your mom's special place. We won't shoot each other.
You mean her lounge?
Her roast beef.
Sure, Ryan. Bad man.
Disease.
All right, let's
scurvy.
Scurvy. Right, back to the scurvy.
Oh, so scurvy. It's about the lime thing was when would you say was the lime thing? The British suck on a lime.
1600s.
Wow. Okay, perhaps you're right, because the first documented piece of history that sort of the acknowledgement of certain foods being a preventative measure for scurvy was with Vasco da Gama, 1497. It
You
was
mean the most recent?
the earliest documented.
No, but that's not true.
What? Vasco da Gama?
No,
Scurvy.
the earliest documented examples of scurvy and the cure thereof.
So my fact is
yeah, I mean,
1497. Vasco da Gama on that expedition, one of the writers or one of the doctors wrote stuff, and he said, yes, indeed, citrus fruit is a preventative measure of scurvy. So
I
they
think-
knew
I
about
think-
this thing
so-
called
so- so-
scurvy.
so listen,
they knew about the preventative, and they documented it.
So I'm gonna go out on a real limb here, and Dietz may have to look it up and put it on the
He's
screen
busy
there.
with plant of the
Because
month.
I think scurvy was documented and the cure for it was documented by the ancient Egyptians, and I think scurvy is one of those things that we've had happen to us, have found the answer to, and then forgotten at numerous stages through history. And I think Dietz is going to have to double check this for us. But unless this is your fact, unless what I'm doing now is standing on your fact.
Warren, are you saying when it was discovered or when the cure was discovered?
No, so I think the cure has been discovered at various points in history, and it's
Yes.
been forgotten.
Yes. So you need
Yeah.
you first.
I think the
tell me
first
true or
time-
false before.
So no, what I'm saying to you is
He's got Wikipedia
what
open
I'm saying
already.
to you is
He's going hard on
what
this.
I'm saying to you is your fact is false. I'm saying like so.
So you mean
I think the
documented?
first documented example of scurvy was
Documented.
ancient Egypt. The first documented example of scurvy was ancient Egypt, and I think we've got documented examples of the cure from way before Vasco da Gama. But we found it and forgot it, and found it and forgot it, and found it and forgot it. And I think the most recent example is maybe Vasco da Gama, where we kind of started saying, okay, well, if you eat citrus fruits. So that's where I'm going with it. I don't know where you were.
Well, Flip, clever boy, spot on.
Okay.
Very smart, and it's almost like it's sad when history repeats itself, especially when it comes to science and technology. It's like we should have known better had we
Yeah.
collaborated. But back then it was empire conquering empire. Then you burn their libraries and stuff, and it's very sad. But the what I have
Yes.
is not so. Yes, indeed, the Western empires and their conquests of discovery. It was Vasco in 1497. There was a chap, but it had been forgotten indeed. And it goes back, I don't have it as the Egyptians, I have it as the Chinese, but 400
No,
CE.
so I
Okay,
know-
so
I know the
400
Egyptians-
Common Era, so
I
400
know that
AD.
I'm being
Chinese
confident
monk
now.
Faxian. I don't know why his name was Faxian. If he was a what? Come on. Okay, I have it as a Chinese monk. But what's interesting about the Chinese monk in 400 CE, Faxian was his name, is he had ginger. He said Chinese ships have to sail with ginger. Ginger will stop this thing called scurvy, whatever they called it. But it was known that
Yeah, so Dietz has
ginger.
got up on the screen that ancient Egypt was the symptoms of scurvy were described in ancient Egypt as early as 1,500, but that's not necessarily the first cure.
yeah.
But so yeah.
No.
that's-
I think I would go on cure. Thanks for that, Dietz, the ancient Egyptians. I see that. I mean, Dietz has just told us about the first cure, and oranges and lemons,
This does
1747.
appear to be this does appear to be
But
another
you
one
see,
of those.
That's you see, it's the British
It's-
going.
but
We're
it's
the
a-
first at
That's
something.
right. It's
no.
another one of those cases, and this
No,
is the
no,
second
no,
time
no.
in one podcast. I wonder how many other times the British have stolen things.
Yes.
Oh wait, look at the British Museum.
One of our previous. Isn't that lovely?
Yeah, it's not
isn't that
the,
lovely?
it's not just physical stuff that they're stealing. It's also like intellectual property.
Oh, no, there's a previous episode. I think our inventions episode. We had this as well, where it was a patent thing, and someone had come up with the canning. It was the canning
You're right.
in the
Yes,
Netherlands,
and
the
the
first
British
canned
stole it.
food,
Yeah.
and they were doing it the Dutch were doing it with fish, and the patent was awarded
So
50 years later in Britain.
so who's the first answer? So it's this Fan Jing.
Faxian.
Faxian.
Well, it's spelled Faxian. I don't know how you pronounce it, but he said ginger, man. Sail with ginger, and you won't get the shit. 300 CE, which means
Is he right though? Is ginger high in
yes, it
vitamin
is
C?
high. I
Okay.
actually checked that. It is high in vitamin C. So that's 1,100 years before Vasco da Gama.
It's so
It's
interesting.
it's 1,500 years before
James
Lind.
Yeah, the official discoverer of the cure. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that, as you say, we've kind of gone totally different directions, and yet there's some links here on our facts.